Hi everybody, I'll show you with the firmware switch here. This is the main body. I don't know how well you can see that, but there is a little switch in there which is just above that screw that's there. You can just barely see it. And the switch right now is forward to the front of the radio. So I'm going to show you, but I'm going to reach in there and just move that up. So now it's pointing. Now the switch is at the rear. And this is the faceplate. And it's also got a switch in there. Reset and update. As you can see there. Oh, I'm going to update the faceplate on this too. So I think what I'll do though is I'll wait until I'm going to update the face, because first off I'm going to update the body of the radio. So the power cord's off when you do that. Now I'll plug the power cord back in and we'll follow the operations on the screen. Okay, so I'll try and follow this through here. This is the PDF file that comes with the firmware. That's just showing the program, which is right there waiting to be started. So I'll start the program here. My COM port is COM 5. And I just double check that first. If I can find where to do that on this thing. Just open the control panel here. Windows 10. There's the control panel. Devices. There it is there, Pro Effect USB serial port COM 5. Okay, so we disconnected the power from the main body. Switch program switch update. We've connected the PC cable already. Connect the power cable to the main power supply. After all the procedures done, press OK. No, maybe it is updating. I did not turn on the radio. As you can see, the radio is sitting here. The faceplate is off, but it is hooked up to the power supply. So I guess we're good to go. Seems to be updating anyways. The next one here. Turn off the power supply, connect the radio to the supply cable, disconnect the power supply from the radio, remove the rubber cap from the top of the case, switch it to update, connect your USB to serial, connect the power cable to the main body and apply 13 volts. Do not attempt to turn on the radio. So we didn't turn on the radio. So now we've gone up to the firmware update part where we were. This is just telling you all the stuff we just went over. After that procedure is done, press OK. So now we're updating, which is happening over here. And we should see something that says firmware update complete once it's done here. So we're at 71%. Firmware update is complete, so it looks like we did okay. So, hit OK on that. The update program has been transferred. Lastly is make sure they're sure to follow the procedure below. For details, refer to the PDF file. So, disconnect the power up cable from the main body. Okay. Disconnect the cable, connect to the data terminal. Switch the program switch to the normal side. So I'm going to go back into the radio and move that switch that's on the body of the radio. So it's back pointing to the front of the radio where it was when we started. So that is done. Connect the power cable to the main body. Just put to supply power, so I'm just hooking the 12 volt power supply back up. And I don't know why that keeps booting like that. But anyways, so we connected that back to the main power supply. So I'm going to perform a factory reset. I'm going to have to turn the radio on. Just get back to my page here where the instructions were. So the firmware update. So turn your transceiver on, press and hold the DSP. And we want to go to the dial to 13. And there's a factory reset. So rotate the dial, select OK. After we hit factory reset here, select OK. It's resetting. And it's going to come back completed, and it's going to boot up, and I'm going to have to enter my call in for the 80 millionth time here. I don't know why it has to keep resetting this, but we'll run through this. Ugh. And I'd like to put the first 3 letters of my name since there's space there for it. Okay, now we'll reboot up again. Doesn't that look nice? So, next, we should be able to check the version number here. Go back to that. And back to 13. And from there we're going to go to software version. And there we go. That's up to 2.1 now. Which is what I loaded on there, which should be the most current software. So I got that written down here somewhere. Okay, so that's what we put in. Yeah, that's it. Upgrade. So now we're at version 2.1 on that. Hopefully you guys can read that well enough. So next I'm going to do the panel here because it's old. My other one's at 2.0, this one's only at 1.2, so I'll update that also. So I'm just going to stop the recording here for a second and get ready for that. Okay, so we're ready here. We're going to start the panel update. So well, I'll start by opening the program on the computer. So this is version 2 panel update. My COM port is going to be the same. So we have to do these items that it pops up and says. It's basically following what it says in the PDF. So I'll try and zoom in here, and hopefully you'll be able to follow along what I'm doing. So the power cable is connected to the radio. Press the TPO and GM keys to power it up. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be doing it. TXPO, and the GM keys. I'm going to turn on the power. Well, I guess I'll have to figure this out. Okay, I'm going to continue to the DSP firmware upgrade first, and then go to the panel I'm not sure whether that's the reason why I can't start the radio the way it's supposed to be or not, so we'll go here first. So, Yaesu Amateur Digital DSP Firmware Upgrade Program. Fix my COM port 5. Okay. Connect the cable. So, I will disconnect the power cable for the radio. My DSP jack in. Power back on the radio. So, external power. I'm just going to move this off to the side here for a minute while I read this part here. Turn the power off, disconnect this. This stupid thing, let's go back and so, firmware update. I'm just going to grab that folder down here because it likes to keep turning off for some reason. So, connect the serial jack in. Let's connect to the COM port. Connect the power up. Turn on the power supply. While pressing, so let's see if we can get it to power up that way this time. Turn the power supply on while pressing. Oh, maybe that's the problem. So since I can't turn my power supply on and off that way, I'm just going to power the radio off. Unplug the power connector here and turn on the power supply while pressing the VM and the GM keys together. So let's see if we can do this with the limited number of hands I have here. So easy to do. These nice reset keys, recessed keys on the front panel make that nice and easy to do. Still haven't run with that, so I'm just going to shut this down for a second. Okay, I figured out how to do this. And you can see the radio now wants me to push the D key. So that's the DX key. So you displayed on this, you press the update button on the PC. So here we go, initiating software transfer. Please check the version number, DSP. DSP version 410. Okay, we better hit cancel here for a second while we decide whether or not that's. Just click OK to update. When the following pop-up screen is displayed, check the version number and press OK to update. So we are updating now. We had that pop-up. I guess we had version 4.1 in there. I didn't look and write that down, but this is asking whether I want to update from 4.1 to 4.15, so that's what's happening now. It's updating. The next screen is going to tell us when the pop-up screen is displayed upon completion, so it's going to tell me firmware is completed in a minute. Now the tricky part here, getting the thing to start up, you're going to press your VM key, the VFO/memory key, and the GM key at the same time. They don't mean to turn on the power supply. What they mean is to power up the radio with your power/lock button. That's what was throwing me off, and that's probably what was throwing me off for updating the panel too. So you have to power up the rig, not attach the power supply cables as what it sounds like when you read it. So there we go, right end, firmware update is complete. Okay. Updated program has been transferred. We've got a right end on the display here. So now it's telling me to the updated program has been transferred. Lastly, make sure to follow the procedure below. Turn off the transceiver's power off. Disconnect the cable. Connect the external power or battery to the. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Power's already connected. Alright, turn on. Let's see what it says in the PDF. Maybe it makes more sense there. So, next. So to return the transceiver to normal operation, complete the procedure listed above as follows. Disconnect the data cable. So turn off the power supply and disconnect the serial cable from the data. If this is software update. So I'm going to turn off the radio. Radio's off. Disconnect the power. Disconnect the data cable. That's your USB to serial cable to your computer. I'm going to hit exit over here on the program. Okay. Check the version number. By following the procedure on the next page, which is basically going to be plug the cable back in. So I'm going to hook the power supply back up to the radio. Zoom in on the radio here so you guys can see that. So I'm going to turn on the radio here. holds our DSP keys, bring up the menu. We're already on, we want our SD clone here, so we're going to select that, software version, and we'll see that our DSP is now at 4.15, so we're at the current one. So with this, the software update is completed. So that is all the steps for that. So next I'm going to go back to my drive, and we will do the update for the display or panel. So we can escape out of that now. And actually, let's just take a look here. Our panel right now is 1.2, and we're going to go to 2.0. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this off. Go back over here. I'll show you what I got on the screen right now. It's just the PDF. So we will start the program again. COM5. Okay, so before we hit OK to that, we have to get the radio ready. So connect the power cable to the main body. Connect the power to the main body. We're connected that way. So I'm going to press, as it says, TXPO and GM, and then press the power button to have it turn on. Panel update. See, there we go. That where they say there, press the TXPO and the GM keys simultaneously to turn on the power. Well, you have to also press the power button on the radio. That's what they mean. So now we've got the radio on by pressing, as I said there, TXPO, your power button, power level button, a power output button, your GM key. So pressing these two at the same time, holding them in, and pressing your power on button will bring you up to the push. Okay, so here's mud. So next we're going to take the panel off. I've already opened up the hole there. So remove the rubber cap from the rear panel and switch the program switch to update. So if you look in there, you see where it says reset and update. Take something non-metallic, push that to update. Is that what I'm supposed to do? I think that's supposed to just slide up there, but before I break it, let's see what it says when you complete. sideways. Let me get my magnifying glass here. Because again, that's clear as mud as to what is actually here. Because one says reset, and up above in red it says update, but there doesn't seem to be anything there. Like there's a little black spot. So let me figure this out. Okay, so I figured this out. If you look in the little hole, you're not going to see on the camera, but you'll see that you have the reset button. Hold it in this orientation. You'll see on the bottom it says reset. There's a little line with a dot that goes up to the little push button switch. There's like a, you'll see like a little round silver or rectangular silver piece, sort of two U's put together to form a rectangular piece. There's a gray button in there. That's a push button. Above it you'll see where it says update with the arrow. There's a little black piece there, like it's like 2 millimeters wide and maybe 3 millimeters high, and that is the actual switch. So if you just slide that over to the left, you're in update mode. So we're in update now. I'll put this back on here just to make it easier for you guys to see. Okay. So now we have to connect to our PC cable. It's on. Usually they tell you to turn this off, but it would be the first time I plugged it in with it on. Okay. Okay. So, you see we're in Yaesu. Push and DSP is what they want us to do next by the looks of it. So, if connect to the, after procedure is done, press the OK button. So, okay, let's see if we're going to get some updating back in here or not. Firmware canceled, so I didn't do something right here. We didn't hit the reset button. So, push that open here. So I hit the reset button. The display has gone off. So you can see we have a blank display. I'm going to hit OK here again and see what happens. I got cancel again. So didn't like something I'm doing here. So we missed a step here. So I'm going to back up here and try again. Okay, so take the power cable to the main body. I want this piece off for now. Work on that. Press TPX GM at the same time and then turn it on. Oh, that's not looking good. Oh. Damn it. Okay, so we're back to push and DSP. This will be my second attempt because I did not follow that correctly the first time. So the radio's on. Press the display button. Okay. This is what we didn't do the first time. We forgot to do that. So now we have to open this up. Switch our slide the switch on the PC board downward. Push the reset so the display flashed there. Connect the programming cable. So, nothing to see on the display right now. We'll go back to here. Done all the steps. Okay. Updating. Perfect. Had me worried there for a minute. I thought I fried the front. I had to unplug the rig and plug it back in to get it to respond to a power on. So, firmware update is complete. Okay. So next, update power. The updated program has been transferred. Lastly, make sure follow the procedure below. So disconnect the power supply from the main body, disconnect the cable from the data terminal. Okay, so I've disconnected my USB and my power cable. Now I'm going to have to go back into the front here, switch my programming switch back to the right side. I can put my plug back in. Connect my power supply back up. It's powered up or on. Perform a factory reset. Oh, factory reset. Is that going to be in there? Factory reset. Okay. Resetting. Probably have to put in my call sign again. Of course. So we'll do this quickly again. So the transceiver's on. Go back here again. We're going to go to 13 again. And we're going to go down to software version 8. And look at that. So our panel is now 2.0. So all the BIOS updates, software versions, whatever you want to call them, are updated to the latest and greatest for this time, which is February 2018. And now this radio should be able to talk to the radio I have in my truck, it's a brand new radio. I had these versions already on it, and the whole reason why I spent the day doing this, or this hour doing this, is because I want to be able to update from the SD card and swap memories back and forth between radios. And with the old version of software in there, you couldn't do that. Once a radio has the newer version of software, it won't talk backwards to one with an older version of the main CPU anyway. So that's what prompted this update. So I can I check the version number. I can exit out of the program. Exit that. So that's all done. So hopefully when I piece this video together, it'll be clear as mud for anyone else attempting to do this update. That's all for now, guys. 73s, and hope to catch you on the band.